Yeah,
Hello,
yeah, yeah,
everybody,
yeah, yeah,
and we're back
yeah.
with the Coco Tapes.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep,
right,
yep,
so uh, today we're gonna talk about what was it, human be doing versus a human being?
yeah, yes, exactly, exactly. And we will start with the quote that Justin Bieber said. He said that everybody's so busy and it's not called human being. No, it's called human being, not human doing. Oh, that was
Yeah,
a super one. Yeah. So, and you can think about Justin Bieber, whatever you want to think. I don't care. I like some of his hits, and I like that sentence because it's
yeah,
true. And I met it many years ago, and I thought about it ongoing, and then I pulled the plug on my what do you call it, 9 to 5 life. I never really had one, but I oh in periods. But anyway, I would say the normal Western struggling life of
mm,
working, providing, socializing, all this stuff, and started to travel abroad to countries where they were calmer and my friends in Denmark would always say, "Yeah, but it's a geographical thing. It's because it's cold in Denmark. We have to be busy. We have to stress around to stay warm, la la la." And of course, in the south, where you can stay outside all day long because the sun is there, and yeah, and it's true, of course. And I kind of bought that lie for many years. Yes, in Denmark, we work all the time to have these super nice houses, homes, as my brother used to call them, to make these super igloos
yeah,
with the big screens and the nice decor and the nice big kitchen for conversation with dinners and so on and so on, which is true because we can't be outside. And we can't go to the cafe every day and have lunches with friends because it's too expensive. I mean, you don't go out for lunch every day for your break either, and so on. There's many things that you just can't do. Okay, so this is like I think the fourth or fifth year now where I decided to stay abroad for some periods to actually investigate this thing about human being instead of human doing. And then I saw this really nice video. I sent it to you too with this guy that talks about this. He talks about Greek people. And he says they kind of figure it out because even though they have all the same devices that the rest of us do, the iPads, the computers, the telephones, the smartphones, they understand to keep it like at an arm's length.
mm,
They're not. You don't see people with them. I don't see people sitting in a cafe on their phone. If there are, it's usually foreigners or okay, somebody fighting with their wife or spouse or whatever. No, but it's not the same way. They will sit and just drink their coffee and stare out in the sky. You know,
nothingness.
they don't have to sit on their phone to feel safe or feel busy or whatever. Or
Yeah,
they will sit for on a in the park for hours and just chill and read or whatever. But anyway, so to go back to the human doing versus human being. So when I got here the first time these years back, I would be doing all the time. I would be working online still. I would be thinking, what can I do? And how I would, keep my business life kind of going, but in a better settings, natural, warmer, enjoying to be able to sit on the beach when I work and so on. Now, these years later, I'm now finding out that I'm at a state where I'm a human being now,
mm,
and it's amazing. It's just amazing. And really to be able to live this present moment like I for many years I lived on this motto like I only have today. I could walk on the street and be run over by a taxi and die.
yeah,
Everybody could. So just nothing is guaranteed, and it's not a fear thing. It's just like, okay, get things done today, say what you got to say today, do the things you want to do today, period. Don't think about tomorrow. Now it's at a state. Actually, this week I have a little like the bad conscious. There's a program like now I'm actually just being, and this is difficult to just be. Last year, the issue was the freedom, the huge amount of freedom I felt. And it's difficult to have all the freedom. This is why people go and work in an office space, because it's from 9 to 5, and you don't have to think about it. You don't have freedom. You just have to do. I understand that safe feeling. And then you go home and you drink some wine, you watch something on the TV, and you numb yourself down. And then up again next day, do the same. It's slave life, right? And it could be a post slave life or shitty, and it could look good or bad, whatever. So human being is very difficult when you're brought up in human doing. It's very difficult to transition full to, because I will still wake up some days and think, oh, you gotta start doing this, or make some more business with this, or call this person, or what about this idea? You can also do this, and that's the human doing brain.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky that my youngest child is a human being and has always been, to the point where we would go crazy, of course, because she was so much human being in a world that's human doing that she just didn't fit in. And it frustrated us, of course, the family, and we tried to push her to be, I can see now, a human doing. We would push her to have conversation during the dinner, which is actually, she was right. You're supposed to be silent when you eat and enjoy and focus on your food. Everything we would push her. At some point, I realized this was wrong. She was actually right. The system is wrong. The world is wrong. Okay. I'm lucky right now because she's here with me in this place where we are in the South, and her ability to be a human being, of course, pushes me to stay in my human being and not human doing. And I get a mirror smack right in my face every time I start the human doing thing, every time. And her energy would just pull me right back to the human being thing. And actually, all the way down to the point of actually just now testing, can we just do one thing a day only? Do it properly. It could be go shopping for the market for the proper meal or whatever, but just one thing, or a really long swim. And in the back of my mind, even as I'm telling you this, I feel a little bit guilty. Like, what the hell? The only thing you did today was go swimming. I mean, come on. Did you just go swimming? For how long? Well, I was at the beach for 2-3 hours because 1 hour just took the next one. It was so nice, and the dogs were playing, and I met people, whatever, and I had a coffee. But I can feel that it's Friday, and this is what you did. But actually, it's enough. And I'm doing two things. Now I'm talking to you. I'm making tapes with you,
Yeah.
But to cut everything down to this being and enjoying and being and looking at the clouds change. It's just So that's my long first talk about this. What do you say?
Well, I don't have so much to say. The thing with me is that I've actually always had a tendency toward the being thing, but I did have the thing with the bad conscience. Yeah, that's mine too. And also this, when you have these days where you really feel you deserve to just be because you've done so much, that's still also a part ingrained in me in some way. But I believe maybe it's the Tunisian genes. I don't know.
Yeah.
That actually kick in there that have always given me this sense of being very comfortable with just being. So I've had a very natural approach to it, or a natural tendency to it, which could often frustrate partners because they'd be like, "What's your plan? What have you done today? Where are you now? What are you doing?" So it's like.
Yeah, but I get that. That's interesting. But I think the reason why maybe they reacted like that, because I can recognize what you're saying from other people that were better at just being before I was good at being, is if people feel happy, if they don't eat too much, don't drink, or don't gamble, or whatever, and but the people I've met that were good at just being, they weren't really happy, So this is why I would get agitated. I would be like, what's your plans? What are you, whatever? I remember one time I had a partner This was before I was ready to do my home human being myself. Uh, and I would ask him in the morning, so what's your plans for today? And he would say, oh, nothing much. Maybe go into town and get a good cup of coffee. And of course, in the beginning, I thought it was very charming and like, this is really cool, actually, because he could afford that lifestyle, by the way.
Yeah.
So, of course. But as I got deeper into it and saw the other side of it, I realized that he's not happy. He was not really a happy person. I mean, he was doing things like everybody else to numb down the unhappiness, the lack of activity, really, or realizing his dream or his potential, you know. So my point is, do we really know anybody, well, maybe in India or in some jungle, that are both being just human being and happy and content? Yeah.
The thing is, what I think is that we live in times where this quality is like becoming more and more important
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
mean it's
yeah, yeah,
all been paced so much into doing, and
yeah,
now there will come a time when there will be so little to do
yeah. Well,
that
do
you
some little thing.
actually need to know how to be. I think it will
See,
become
this is
very, very important in a minute.
exactly. This is so interesting about development and then evolution because some things that we see as very bad that's happening,
Yeah,
AI and all this stuff, and all the many people that will lose their jobs and all the young people that get
yeah,
educated for a job they won't even be able to have. But if you look at the bright side of it, it will force, just like lockdowns, it will force people to go inside and look
yeah,
inside, right?
yeah,
You know, that's unfortunate for humans. We're like that often. We need some kind of shit to make us think. You know, we need some kind of bad luck or something bad to happen before we start asking ourselves, okay, what can I
yeah,
do? How can I survive this? Really?
yeah.
So that's
I'm
it's
up to
funny
my neck
because
in shit. I can't move at all, so I
yeah,
might as well just eat.
exactly, exactly. See, this is the point. This is the point. That's a good one. Okay, that's it.
All right. Nice. Let's leave it on that
I think.
positive note.
Yeah, we will. We will. We will.
All
I
right.
just came up with a new theme for a new Coke tape. That's why. So let's leave it. And
Okay. All right.
okay.
See you on the next
Yep.
one. Like, subscribe,
Yes.
share,
Yes.
leave a comment, keep it
And
civil. We'll see you.
yeah,
Bye.
and it's be human. Bye. So,
Hey, welcome back,
yeah.
everybody.
Hey, yeah, hey, yeah, hey, yeah.
All
Yep.
right.
Well, I just got a notification. This is why we're doing this quick tape now. That
Yeah.
one of my posts on Facebook was fake information. It's been a
Okay.
long time since I got that. I got it way back during lockdown where I was very active in posting a
Stay
lot of
closer
things
to the
about.
microphone.
Yes, I will. Is this good enough?
Yes.
Good. Where and you know then this big wave came in on social media with all these fact checkers fact
Mhm.
checking, like who are they, who is checking facts, and
Yeah.
what book do they have with facts that are right and wrong and so on. And many people would start getting these notifications that they would put this little note on your post saying it is fact check and may not be truth, so on and so on. And even like really, I call totally normies that would be like posting. It couldn't. Some days it could just be like a flower and some text, and they would get notifications saying
Okay.
it's been fact checked. You know, it's ridiculous, really. So I just got one now saying, because I posted a fact about something about somebody starting to put something into cows that
Yeah.
we will then be entering the human body, and I just put it up there. I didn't say it was true or not true. I just said, "Ew, that sounds nasty," you know.
Yeah.
And I posted the link for where I got it, and I had, of course, did my own research. I always research before I share. I don't just put something up, even though it comes from a legit person, because you know I always take at least 2 or 3 other places. I'll check
Yeah.
it, and if they say the same, okay, I guess it's legit. And now I just got notification. So let's talk about fact checking and what is wrong, and do we even know anymore? Do we know what
Yeah.
is correct and not correct? Because we always have somebody else telling us what's right and not right. Right?
Yeah.
We don't check it ourselves. We don't like. In a perfect world, I guess when I saw something like this, I would go out to a farmer and I would check: is this real? Is
Yeah.
this is what happening? Do you really have to do this? Will you really get fined if you do not do this, and so on? This is like in the perfect world, I guess. You check. I don't do that. I just decide to go get things from somewhere else than where I now hear the farmers have to put this poison into the animals.
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think about this fact checking?
Well, yeah, I think the fact checking is a funny thing because there is no, it's like you have to explain what uh what and where, and you're being treated like a member of the press almost, right? You have to
Mm,
do your research, you have to do this and that,
mm,
and even if you have done that, uh, once it's decided that what you have put up in good faith isn't fact, then it will be taken down. But but these fact
yeah.
checkers don't have to show any credentials,
No. No.
they don't have to refer to anything. They don't have to even to put up anything. Why they just say they just discard the information,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they can do that on the basis of I don't know, maybe
Mm,
even
mm,
one thing spelled wrong or whatever.
mm, mm.
So there is like no what do you call it? Uh, there's no fact checking the fact checkers.
No.
There's no responsibility from their side. They can just
No.
it's like
No.
it's quite close to tyranny, I would actually say.
Totally. Totally. So it's
And
like we don't even know who they are.
no,
And this is so in they're giving authority to people we don't know who really. I mean, a lot of things of this happened after this famous lockdown period, right?
yeah,
Also, like another example was uh, some people couldn't wear masks because of health issues or because of whatever their stand, what they believed in, and so on. Some people had asthma, so on. So in the beginning, the people that dared to say when they enter the shop, "Well, I can't wear it, so I'm not wearing it." Okay. They made a rule then that you had to go up to your local what's that called?
doctor.
Rådhus. Huh?
To your
What?
psychiatrist or doctor or what?
No, Rådhus. It's called what? It's
Your
called
your municipal office.
yeah. You mean it? Yes, and you had to go up there and you had to make a statement saying you could not wear a mask, and then they would give you this paper saying you didn't have to wear a mask. But you go up to this random person just working, in some official office. They're not a doctor. They're not a psychiatrist. They're nothing. And you had to sign that you were unable. And the reason you didn't really have to give the reason though. Some of them would ask people, and they're not even allowed to ask about your health situation.
Mm-mm.
The reason for you wanting this paper. And it's really crazy. It's like the fact checking. You give authority to some people that are not educated, that are nobody really.
Yeah,
I'm not dissing the person working at this office, but basically,
people that have
he or
no
she's
authority. Yeah,
yeah, and no education, no knowledge, nothing.
no,
They're taking phones, they're stamping papers, and so on, and yeah, and they get an insight in your life, and that you signed this paper and the reason why, and it's quite crazy. The same with this.
yeah,
Like I don't get offended anymore when I get this poster and say now, and I can see it on my post that is fake party, and it's fake information. And I'm like, in the beginning, when I would get these, I would, of course, get very upset. Like, who the hell? Because it's also very intimidating. Like, how did they find out? Did somebody call somebody and say it? Or is it
yeah.
just algorithm? And what is it? Now it's probably just AI and algorithms. But before that, like, how did they find these posts and decide to hit on them and say this is not allowed? And why do we need this? We need it because then some people say, well, that's because people they spread false information on the internet. And so yeah, but dude, find out yourself if it's right or wrong for you what they're writing. Why do you need somebody? And here we go again. Somebody to tell you how to live your life. Somebody to tell you what to believe. Because we're so disconnected. I say we, because I don't feel I am, but
But it's also
human beings.
I think there are so many what do you call it? So many ways that we are being conditioned to just succumb to authorities. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
even
Totally.
the rule on the Facebook, for example, that you can use music that is older than 50 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I
Mm-hmm.
did, for example,
Mm-hmm.
and still there is a there is like as soon as the algorithm hears music, or the whatever perceives music, then the first thing that is done is that it is blocked.
Yeah.
Uh, and who the hell goes then back to, to actually activate it again or whatever?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
So
It's a, but
your rights don't count, but the
no.
rights of Facebook to stay safe for themselves, which is making tons of money, is
Yeah.
like that's the important thing. So I mean, it's a sickness which is like at the center, at the heart of society that we live in now, is like this.
Yeah.
Everything, nothing serves the people anymore.
No.
It
No.
all just serves like industry, corporations, stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it serves a machinery that is bigger, and the machinery that actually chews us up.
Yeah. And then again, like, we go back to the next thing. Then that's what I can keep questioning myself in the world, but then I'll never get the answer. Why does nobody get out of the chair and do something? Like, why? It's just, and that's again a program, right?
Yeah.
We're numbed down to just accept, get a little furious, little whatever, and that's it. And then I'll go, well, oh well, okay, whatever.
But
And this is the problem.
I do feel that consciousness wise, the human race is developing in such a way that we are beginning to see, signs of tiredness of these eternal words of growth, of all of that, and it makes us, it turns us into bad consumers slowly but surely. Some
Mhm.
faster than others,
Yeah.
and in that way, I think we are taking back the power. Or that's
Hmm.
at least that's how I feel. That's what I think.
You're so optimistic. That's good.
Yeah, you have to be. You can't live in this
That's
world without being optimistic.
no, 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 no. That's true. That's true. That's
The darkness is
okay.
just there to make us shine.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
True, true, true,
All
true.
right. Shall we
Good.
leave it at that?
Okay. Yep.
Okay.
Let's
See you on
do
the
that.
next one. Like, subscribe,
Yeah.
share, and leave a
Yep.
comment, but keep it civil.
Yep. And check your facts. Bye.
Yeah, check your facts. Check your mother facts. Yep.
Check your mother fact. Bye.
See ya.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.